All right. So, Krypton Ninja Poker. His assets are 80% BTC, 10% BCH, rest in your favorite coins. That's my ratio. If you look at in my opinion, if you look at the potential, BCH has more potential, in my opinion, to 10x than BTC. If you look at it from a purchasing power aspect, and when I say purchasing power, I mean fiat, right? So I don't like to look at it as fiat. I'm thinking, what can I buy with my BCH? So purchasing power is the next obvious explanation, but I would not hold 80% BTC, 10%. I would do, 50-50 at least. Maybe 50-40, 10%, the rest of your favorite coins. 10% to dick around with on something that has, some risk with the high payout. It also says God equals gold. Camo Logan says, I still can't make profit. In my experience, if you're trading to make profit, a lot of times you can just spend your time pushing a project and holding a project, and you're going to end up with the same result as if you had traded. So if you had made 4x your money by trading into various coins, in and out of various coins, you could do the same thing with less work by pushing an adoption of your favorite token. I've done it. I've seen it. So I've 10x'd, 100x'd on trading, but if I had just not done anything and held it, it was a lot of work for the same end result. So probably doesn't make sense. Hang out. Should I hold my crypto? BTC Mandrake _TW. Should I hold my crypto and BTC or BCH for future investments? In my opinion, I don't hold any BTC because of the bullshit. I've got personal reasons, but you should put all your eggs in one basket, that's for sure. Let's see. Tournaments, password. BTC is my, okay, so Crypto Ninja Poker. Crypto Ninja Poker says BTC is my god, BCH is my cash, the other coins is where I invest, which I eventually sell back to BTC, my digital gold. Yeah. I'm not one of those guys that feels like BTC is going to hit 100K easily.
Crypto Nerd, I'm back.
Yeah.
And I'm very sorry for this, but I have to take this moment. I ran through the hallway laughing for the first time in 1.5 years. And with the people that are watching today, I just want to briefly mention, if you want to make a profit on crypto coins, you have to buy some EFL on unnamed exchange today. I am going to put the market up here. Unnamed. Oh, I completely fuck it up. Unnamed exchange Bitcoin with EFL. It is a great profit maker for everybody watching.
EFL would I
buy? Buy that coin. It's not coming back to where it is now.
So, is that your EFL on there or?
I am not the EFL founder because EFL has been founded by a bunch of scammers, and once the
So,
scam,
hold on. You're telling us to buy it, but
no. Once the scam was revealed, I wrote a message that um, regardless of anybody wanting to do anything bad with any crypto coin, a strong community can break it. And since that moment, a strong community is behind it. And this coin, once the Dutch people understand the potential of crypto, and EFL is going to show them, if they are going to put their money behind it, it's game over. Because they are too rich. They are too rich to manipulate. Anyway, uh, thank you for letting me say that.
of course it's your show.
Oh, that's right. Fuck, it's my own show.
You
All
get
right.
this. You get this. This is your own Lieberland. You get to set the rules.
Yeah. Now, we were talking about Tether coming to BCH, and I am saying that Tether is, in a way, the best thing that could happen to Bitcoin Core and crypto space, because the need for profit to them, because of the loss that they made, the need for profit, they only care about making that profit, and that is in the end what counts. We don't care. Okay, let's say it different. I don't care about making a profit. I am in crypto for freedom. I am not here to make $1 billion so I can buy a Lamborghini. I don't care about that. But I want to make people understand what the purpose of life is. That is why I hold the name Yoshi Livo. Yoshi Livo stands for Your Children Live On. I created that ICLO on top of YOLO, you only live once, because I don't want to, or let's say different, I don't think that my life is just once, right? I live on. So Yoshi Livo, Your Children Live On. That is my motivation in a way, and it's stupid because I could have made all this incredible profit and I didn't give a fuck because I wanted the people to understand why I do things. And
Yeah.
well, I missed out in a way, right? So whatever.
Well, you gotta, in my opinion, you gotta take advantage of the opportunities. If you can be in a position to where you have a ton of cash to push your message, or no cash, but yet you're still pushing your message, you're always going to want to go for that, having the cash and get the cash. It's really, in my opinion, reaping what it's reaping the rewards of your hard work and your intelligence and your research
Yes,
and your
yes,
time.
100% true, 100% true. In EFL, this moment was given to me. It was just so brief. I worked for that moment 8 years of my life and it lasted 1 minute. So I missed it because at that very moment I'm saying you vote with your wallet for many years, and at that stupid moment I missed it, and I still don't know why. I believe it's my blessing in a way, because otherwise we wouldn't have had this conversation. I would have been surrounded with people that are lying to me to get to my wallet, right? So
Right.
that is the life experience that I needed to
Yeah.
get to
The
the
type
next
that you
level.
can't purchase. Right.
Yeah,
This is the type that you can't purchase.
I
You can't
I
buy
I,
this.
I
You
am
have to
born.
live it.
You have to understand. I'm born in the city that has the first castle of the family of Orange. The king of the Netherlands was first in my town. Everybody is rich there. There is no poverty. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not like Detroit or whatever, right? Everybody's taken care of. We have our homeless people, and they live a great life because they get money from the state. They have everything. So um, how to express it correctly? I don't know. I don't really know, but Yeah, I've been blinded by wealth. Let's call it like that, because I had so many things. I thought that the entire world was like that. Being here in Serbia opened my eyes in such a tremendous way that I can't even, I don't know how to express it, but I'm very grateful to have this experience, and that is worth 70 million to me today, because if it wouldn't be, I had to hang myself, right? So I,
Right,
I
right.
this is my 70 million that I get out of it. And yeah, well, I'm just saying that this story that I believe in about EFL, although a tremendous amount of people are laughing about it, I still believe it's real. I still believe that those Dutch people need an EFL to set them free. Let's call it like that, because the
Yeah.
the the the, the, the narrow mindset that they have can only
Well,
be broken by a different reality, and that different reality, in my opinion, is EFL. So anyway,
yeah. I don't want you to feel too terrible. I'm going to tell you about. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I'll tell you about two experiences, opportunity costs that I've had. The first opportunity cost that I had was with Ethereum. A certain situation with Ethereum, it cost me 14 million bucks. And the second opportunity cost that I had was 110 million,
wow.
based based off of numbers. So it's it's. I mean, I could tell you about the opportunity, the non-op, the opposite of opportunity costs I've had, but I don't want to give too much of my personal information out as far as like finances. But um, I'm good. So I'm good financially. I have a feeling you are within our means. But the
Well,
thing is, we have to
I can be
understand that.
glad. I can be glad to live in Serbia today. If I would be living in the Netherlands, I would be broke right now. Let's say it like that. I would be broke
Yeah.
because
Well, if I was in LA, I'd be broke. Like if I was
yeah.
in Hollywood, I'd be broke. To be honest, I so I don't do this because I have to like make my own cigarettes. I do this because it's part of my ethos. Is number one, there's two reasons why I make my own cigarettes. Number one, I don't want a bunch. I have natural tobacco. I don't want a bunch of. If I am gonna smoke, which is not good, no matter what you're smoking, I don't want 1,000 chemicals in my system. So I'm gonna make. Second, it's part of my ethos. If I can cut cost anywhere, whether I need to or not, I'm going to. So I make these 6 cents a piece per cigarette. These what we are capable of, you and I, and other people that are either watching or will watch, and other people in this space, is continual success. The important thing is to not take 2 steps back. It's always be moving forward. Sometimes you're going to have the 2 steps back, but opportunity costs are not 2 steps back. That's just a lesson. But the type of people that we are, these opportunities are going to come again because we have the ability to see them
And to
as
create them.
as yes, as they're formulating, as the mist is becoming a solid object. We can see it before. We see it as a mist, while other people don't see it until it's a solid object, until it's right in front of their fucking face. And this is what, in my opinion, is important to focus on: is continuing to see things before others do. I don't, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but everything I decide that I want to get into, everything that I decide I want to see, I see it years before other people do. And I've met a lot of people like that in this space. The important thing is
I
to
feel
trust your
related
gut.
to what you just said. I have that. I'm always ahead of the
Yeah.
rest, right? I
Yes.
mean, yeah, that's how it is.
The important thing is to listen to yourself when these things happen. That's the real lesson: is to not dismiss what you're seeing, not to play it down, and to take advantage of it. And I'm not saying like you should always take advantage. I don't mean the bad. I don't mean the bad connotation of it, taking advantage of things. I mean taking the opportunity to the fullest of its, the fullest that you can, that you're able to take that opportunity and run with it. You have to trust yourself. You have to trust your gut, and you have to know when your like spidey senses is acting
Yeah.
up.
No,
When
but
your spidey sense goes, it's time to fucking listen to yourself. It's just how it is with some people.
this is a t-shirt I made myself. It has 3 logos. The third one you cannot see, but it has 3 logos. I got sent a t-shirt from somebody else, and by the way, Ned Survey of Renew Cash, I would like to mention him anyway. He's gonna send me a t-shirt. But the t-shirts I made myself always have logos that, one way or the other, after I create that t-shirt, it's gonna go wild. Let's call it like that. It is something's gonna happen, and I don't want to say that's gonna be like that forever, but I know why I find those things. For example, with Bitcoin Cash today, let's forget about EFL for a second. Bitcoin Cash, I have this feeling about the global economy being too much for one blockchain, regardless of any, even if Lightning is going to bring everybody what they believe Lightning is gonna bring them. Not gonna be enough. Not gonna be enough, because
Yeah.
the world economy is too complicated. So I believe in local or niche market coins. So for example, a privacy coin. For example, a coin for gamers. For example, a coin for car dealers. For example, a coin for whatever. Doesn't matter. Every different niche is gonna at some point create its own cryptocurrency. And what is going to uh, um, make the world of cryptocurrencies, or the mother of all cryptocurrencies, is the ability to transact all those niche currencies with that one currency. And whether that's Bitcoin Core or Bitcoin Cash, what I think is a little bit of a shame, what I don't understand of Roger Ver that you mentioned earlier, that you would like to be. I really like to be him as well, in a way, because I think he stands for a numerous of great things, and he's, you know, wow,
Yeah,
the amount of things that
he's a
he has
solid
accomplished.
individual.
Yeah, but what I don't understand is that he doesn't seem to uh, yeah, I don't know how to say it correctly, but he doesn't seem to get the fact that there needs to be value uh, um, um, discovery with Bitcoin Cash to really
Well,
make it
if you
happen.
think of it, if you think about it like this, I don't know what you mean by value discovery. Do you mean like a spike in price or a spike in value?
Yeah, yeah. I mean that
Okay.
any coin should be traded against Bitcoin Cash with more volume than Bitcoin Core. That's basically what I mean.
That comes in time because here, let me
Yeah,
see
but
if I can
he's
pull
not
this up.
pushing that. He's not pushing that. He's pushing a lot of things, but he's not pushing that because I have the feeling that he tries to refrain from the speculation part. Let's call it like that. And I don't want to say that he's right or wrong with that, but I just don't get it. Because if you launch Bitcoin.com exchange and then list tokens and coins that are gonna have a 0.000 volume there, then you're I don't know. And for the same thing, I have been working with people that have exchanges that list every coin they have against the Bitcoin Cash market. So
Yeah.
exploit that and make a volume in that, and get people excited about having more volume in their Bitcoin Cash market than in their Bitcoin Core market.
Well, we need to get down to how. Okay, so when people see success, oftentimes, in my opinion, everything here. Everything I say is my opinion. So just in case I don't say it again,
Yeah.
when people see success, oftentimes they see success as something that happened overnight, but that's not really what happened. So to get this to the point that you think we need to get to, you have to start somewhere, and it's all going to be based on utility. Does this product offer something of value for people to use? Does it solve a problem? So if it takes, you know, number one, we need to attack utility in order to gain adoption. It has to solve some sort of problem for people. But this idea like that BTC is doing, where scarcity brings value, is bullshit. Because you could take the analogy that, say, you have one item and it's you have one item and it's one of one, but no one cares about it. The scarcity argument, the store of value argument goes out the window. If you have the one and only thing that exists of its kind on the earth, but no one gives two shits about it, it has no value. So if something requires like people to care about it to have value, and one of one item doesn't have the people, it kind of points to the fact that it has to be only so scarce and enough people care about it to be valuable. So to get enough people to care about it, and like subsequently scarce based on numbers and valuable as a result, it must have utility. So what I see with Roger Ver is he's attacking something that's very important. You've got to start. You can either say I have the best coin, you can shout it to your blue in the face, or you could put your head down and start building small things which turn into big things, bigger, until you get to this point where your success looks like it happened overnight, but nobody saw the little baby steps that turned into monumental, leaps on the moon.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's how I feel about Roger. I see he's focusing on the right things, but it really, if Bitcoin Cash has any value, it requires us to do the same thing. This is like why I created Spice. Like, this is number one reason why I created Spice, to have some fun. Maybe a token that was a shit token it didn't even need a value, but you can think of like value in different terms. Maybe it's not direct. Let's say for tipbitcoin.cash, we create a system that allows any live streamer to come on and create their own niche token that they can give out to fans, and their fans give back to them. Yet it's not listed on an exchange. It's not traded for any value. It's just a fun time. That in itself has a value to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because people spend their time on it.
Yeah, it's time. You've got hearts and minds. You've got, Bitcoin Cash has Bitcoin BTC has this one singular argument where, because it can't move, it must be valuable, or because you should hodl and you shouldn't use it. The utility's out the window. If the utility's out the window, if it has no real fucking utility, the value is never going to come. So Bitcoin Core right now is benefiting from first mover advantage from years ago. That's the only reason why it's like 10 grand at this point, because it's still benefit from hearts and minds. Yes. But that's going to change. Like, one night people are going to wake up and boom, what the fuck happened? How did Bitcoin Cash become so predominant? How did it become so important? Well, because while you were sitting there worried about Bitcoin Core, we're over here making baby steps, and before you know it, 2 years later, it's like boom, we're on. We're part of the top 5. We're part of the top 2. Whatever success threshold you set for, is this a successful project or not? But yeah, I mean, sorry for the rant, but that's just
no. I was not yawning because of your rant. I was not yawning.
Oh no. In a nutshell, for me, no utility, no value. Period. No utility, no value, ever. Period. And I hate to speak in absolutes, but no utility, no value. You have a car with no engine, almost no value, except for the scrap metal it's worth. You have a car with no tires, well, you got to get tires. It's got to have that ingredient to make it valuable. No utility. If you can't use a fucking, if your chainsaw doesn't have a chain, it's not valuable to you at that point.
Oh, yeah.
There's no utility. It's gone. And that's what these guys at Bitcoin Core need to. But I suspect they do realize it, and I expect there's other, there's other reasons why they've done what they've done. Bitcoin Core, for example, one is probably to profit if they could. What they do is they interject themselves in between the user and the miner, and then they extract their fees, and now they're a profitable, revenue-driven company. The other is they've got investments. It could be this other reason that they got investments for people that don't want to see Bitcoin succeed. So it's like none of it looks good for Blockstream. No amount of looking at it through a lens, none of those potentials look great. Bitcoin Cash, to me, I mean, thank God we have Roger Ver. Thank God we have, other people like Pokes and Mike Malley from CoinSpice. I mean, thank God.
The thing that I
Because
am attracted to most about Bitcoin Cash is that a person like Roger Ver is so outspoken about supporting it, because you need people willing to take a loss to get it further. And without those kind of people, so for example, one of the strongest comments of Roger Ver in the last couple of months was when in February the Bitcoin SV moved above Bitcoin Cash, and then Roger Ver came out and he said, I at some point I could sell Bitcoin SV for more than a Bitcoin Cash, so I did that, and I bought back 1.1 Bitcoin Cash for every Bitcoin SV I sold. That is the kind of thing that a crypto coin needs to succeed, because you don't have to do that. That is your particular decision. And Roger Ver doesn't just have Bitcoin SV, which he has as many as Bitcoin Cash. Well, okay, since February a little bit less, but then he has invested in Ripple. He has invested in Ethereum. He has invested in all those things that are going to at some point deliver to their community, and there is a Roger Ver in between that is going to put his profit out of those projects into Bitcoin Cash. And somebody is out or openly stating that he is going to do that, and willing to take basically a loss on that, because not a loss, but a risk.
I feel bad for him because there's not, and Lieberland is actually going to need people like him. I'm not saying him. I'm saying any project that wants to succeed is going to need people like him. And I feel bad for him at some points. I don't think about this a lot, but thinking about it now, I do kind of feel bad for Roger Ver because we need more people like him. Right now, it's kind of, it's been on his shoulders. But we need more people with that sort of constitution that actually stand for something.
Yeah,
exactly. Like that cliche that we all hear. The saying, it's if you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Roger,
I am willing to take that risk, and I'm willing to put myself behind that. And that is what he's doing, and he's getting a tremendous amount of shit on that, and he doesn't give a fuck.
It's the same smear campaign that they did to Jian Wu when he created ASIC Boost. An obvious fucking mining efficiency, and they slammed him as if it was some sort of exploit. Get the fuck out of here. He just made mining Bitcoin more efficient. Yeah. How are you not seeing this as wow?
I'm not too into the mining part of Bitcoin because it's over my head.
It just speaks to it speaks to people's character because they know what they're saying is wrong. I don't give a shit how dumb they play. They know what they're saying is wrong. They know they're spinning it. They know
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
smearing
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
But they have such a fucking lack of character that something in their life is causing them to do this because it's more important to them.
I'm
Whether
going
that
to
be
make
money.
I'm going to make a highlight out of this highlight. I'm going to put this comment into a specific group that I already know. I'm gonna put it in. I have exactly the right people for that. Hey,
Cool.
20 minutes passed. 20 minutes went
Oh,
by
let's do
as
it.
if it was nothing. I hope you
Awesome,
enjoyed.
Greg.
I hope you enjoyed your 20 minutes, Super Nerd. We're gonna do another raffle. 2, 4, 6, 7 people this time. Linzert is in it. Let's go. Good luck to all 7. And Linzert won it. I'm not kidding, guys. I didn't know that before. I didn't know that before. Linzert. Let's write it down, mate. Let's write it down so it's official. Official. Linzert. Let's spin the raffle wheel. Here we go. 100 renew. Let me put the stream, or let me put the proper screen up so you can't complain. 300 renew cash to Linzert. 300 renew up, written down, going into the history books. In case you are wondering which history books that are, visit the Bitcoin Talk post of this stream. I am writing down every raffle. Every raffle gets into the Bitcoin Talk post. Let me just click it for you so you can see it yourself. I wrote a little bit of text here. You can enjoy one day in your own time. I read it out twice today, so if you missed it, I'm very sorry you missed it. But here are raffles that I did in the past. For example, in the month of May, we gave away 39 raffles to 13 people. In total, 3.6 million honk. SBS tokens, Spice tokens, Renew tokens, Liberland merits, EFLs, Bitcoin Cash, and World tokens, all on the list. Great to have you back. Soupernerd. Alright, Soupernerd. I am feeling way too comfortable now with you. I'm having a great time, really. It was I just walked in the hallway. It was the first time in 1.5 years that I was laughing, and I was like, "Wow, what a great guy I'm talking with now." I can't wait.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I can't wait to get back to this conversation, right? And
I feel the same way. I think I would have. I think I would have like gotten off a long time ago. But I, man, I like people who I can have a conversation with. I'm not always like mentally 100% there. I'm always thinking, 50 different things at one time. But it's nice to just bullshit sometimes.
yeah,
You know.
exactly. And in a way, uh, my life is too much about bullshit because I lack the support to really make it non-bullshit and make it serious, right? It's all about, oh, we're just, oh yeah, well, the world is falling apart, but we're having fun, right? And what do we care about anything in the future as long as we're having fun and stuff like that? And maybe I've been too cocky in the past, and that turned people down, or I don't know, but I must say,
My father. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
My father told me one time that it's my God-given right to be as dumb as I want to be.
Yes, but then you also have
And
to
it
accept the consequences of your Stupidity.
That's what he didn't say. That's what he didn't say, but that is what is true. That it is your God-given right to be, and this touches on what you're talking about with the world around us. It is our God-given right to be as stupid, to be as dumb as we want to be. But he didn't say anything about the consequences because it doesn't need to be said. Because the fact is, we all know, like, so when I look at the world like that's happening around me, I that's what comes to mind. It's up to me if I want to participate in this stupid shit or not. I can sort of to some extent. I can't control everything in life. I can't control everything that happens to me. But to some great extent, I can control what I do, my actions to
Yeah.
things.
Yes.
Whether I
Yes.
participate in the skullfuckery or the dumb fuckery, whether I participate in that or I decide to do something productive with my life. And I don't see doing something productive as ignoring what's going on around me because I know it's happening. But the fact is, I'm choosing to do something else. I wish other people. I'm not saying this is any way to live, but I wish other people would see the benefit of choosing not to partake in certain things and to see things for what they are. If you get down to the core of what things really are, you have a great advantage over most of the population. If you can break down things to the core, like the fact that humans are 100% incentive based on all decisions they make. All decisions they make is a calculation in the back of their head that they're doing without even noticing it of how does this benefit me or how does this benefit the way I want to live. I don't want to partake in the stupid shit that's happening around me. I want to be productive, you know, and I want to surround myself with people that are like me because if I do that, again, we get back to the incentive base. If I do that, not only will I feel better, but it greatens my chances to do good. You know what I mean? The more people I'm surrounded by that are like-minded, I'm not saying they have to be exactly like me, but the more people that I surround myself with that do the things that I want to do, the greater my chances of success are at anything I do. Whether I'm a prepper or a trader or a rock climber, take any of those. I surround myself with people that are, you know, doing it, and my chances are greater at being a success. So, yeah, it goes back to what my dad said. Father said, "You are free to be as dumb as you want to be. It's your God-given right. Go ahead. Just
Well,
know the consequences."
you said go ahead. I think this is a great conclusion of our chat.
Sure.
We started to talk approximately 4 hours ago. When I reached 24 hours, we started. We are now on 28. Tells
Yeah.
my uptime command. I
Oh
can.
shit.
So we are talking
28 is
for
huge.
4 hours, which is I don't feel like this conversation is done yet, but I do feel that I have to process everything that we spoke about for
Yeah,
another
that would
no,
be cool.
another chat to happen. Also, um, I am now seriously in streaming live. Like the timer is on 28 hours. I'm personally now in 19 over 19. So I had my fair share of today, and I have to think over what is being said, right? Um, I can, I have drinks here, and I don't know. I just made a special cigarette for myself and whatever. But
I'm going to be honest. That 4 hours went by really quick. I think we should do a part two. So
yeah,
I'm
I think
thinking
so
like
too. But
next week.
I need to think about this part one first. I cannot do a part two tomorrow when I wake up. Let's say it like that. I
Oh no
cannot,
no no.
right?
So I'm going out of I'm going out of town this Thursday. I'm thinking when I get back in town, maybe like next Thursday or next Friday, we do a part two.
Yeah,
We
sure.
grab some vodka, have a
I think
maybe invite some more people.
yeah. Because I was expecting actually the entire team of tipbitcoin.cash. Um,
I think they're all doing something. phone.
They're all
Right
watching.
now,
They're all watching. They're all jealous of our conversation right now.
jealous.
They're like,
They're
damn,
jelly.
I want to talk with I want to be talking with Yoshi too.
Yeah.
No, you know, it's just I that's maybe also not the right mindset. But and the thing is, you know, um, uh, uh, the the thing that I got out of today, and the thing that I am getting out of life in the last since I started this stream actually, because um, 1 year ago, let me finish it off with a little story about myself. Then I managed to create the only Liberland currency that exists today. Because I don't have the paperwork with me in this hotel today. If you want me to show it, I can prove every word that I say to you right now. But I have contracts with this so-called president of Liberland, and I pushed him to create a token. And today we have a Liberland merit on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain as a SLP token. It has been promised to a incredible amount of people. For example, as a Waves contract, as a Ethereum contract, as a EOS.io contract. None of those promises were delivered. My promise was delivered. I didn't ask for a SLP token. I was expecting a ERC20 token. Yeah. On the last moment, that guy told me, "Hey, yeah, we can create it today as a SLP token. What do you think about it?" I said, "Look, guy, I don't. It doesn't matter what I think about it because you do whatever the fuck you want anyway. But I have this fucking contract and you are gonna give my value today, just like you promised." And that's when he moved, and that's when Roger Ver created the Liberland merit on top of Bitcoin Cash as a SLP token. Then nobody in the world was using SLP tokens. I got an entire exchange to move towards Bitcoin Cash with their SLP tokens. Today you can trade any coin listed on that exchange for Bitcoin Cash. Why? Because I spoke about the story of the Liberland merit as a SLP token and the possibility of Bitcoin Cash taking over Bitcoin Core. So I don't want to say that. No. Then I received part of my money back from this dude, just like my contract stated. It was a very simple contract, and it wasn't 100% fulfilled because actually it went against everything that he said. But I was happy to get at least my $100,000 worth of value out of his control, and
Yeah.
I managed to turn that over and make a profit on that. I am the only Liberlander that donated to this joker and made a profit on what he did. So, um,
Yeah. It doesn't. A lot of what you're talking about. I'm going to be honest with you, Yoshi. It doesn't sound like, and I don't want to be harsh. It doesn't sound like, not on your side. I'm talking about Lieberland side.
no, but that's
Lieberland
because you
side. It
believe
doesn't
that
sound like
you believe that
success
Liberland.
to me.
No, that's because you are now confusing Liberland with one man. And that is the problem with that a lot of people make. This one man is a loser, 100% loser, and he cannot create, he cannot fulfill his promise. He doesn't do what he says. He is only
Yeah.
an egoist thinking about himself. He is not there
It
for the
sounds to
project.
me.
He
It
doesn't
sounds
believe
to
in
me
his own
like
project.
like it like an expose into a lesson learned. If any value is going to be coming
No,
in what this man has done, it
I
might be some
cannot
writing
accept
about it.
that.
And
I'm sorry,
he's
Soupernerd. I cannot accept that. Why? Because the work that he did do, there are so many people like this guy in the world that rule the world. They control the shit at the moment. And he managed to connect with them. And those people now believe that he is the president of Liberland, right? And they are shaking his hand because they have their own status from him in a way. You understand that? You know, so
I do.
we need we in a way it's all needed what he did, but regard I forgot what I really wanted to say or what it was about to me now, but so I managed to make a
You're
profit.
talking about the last year of your life. You were talking about the last year.
Yeah, I'm not in any way ashamed of the malinvestment I made in a way, and that Liberland stole over $50,000, which if I would have had that today, I could basically create 90% of the dreams
You know,
that I currently have.
I'd love to talk with you about this privately. It doesn't even have to be on live stream. There's there are there is advice I could offer based on experience. There's brainstorming we can do and speak about this privately.
Yeah, sure. Let
Um,
but let's also just the private conversations are nice, but what I like even more is to get out of these private conversations and just show everybody everything. I mean, it's
that is
really
that
it's
is one
really
way to do it. Yes.
because that is the way how I've been living my life in that way that um, I have been explaining my decisions by putting everything online all the time. As soon as my bank account got closed, I spoke about it with everybody and I said, "Look, I don't want to leave you behind, but without a bank account, I'm gonna have to." And this is how I've been explaining everybody why or how or whatever. I mean, really super nerd. It's getting a little
I
bit
get
too
you
much for me.
100%.
But
I get you 100%.
let's
In
just
fact,
say that
I'll leave it with this.
I'm so
I
incredibly happy that you put me towards this stream and that you came here after so many hours of me drinking because that's also part of it, right? I mean, if you wake me up tomorrow, we're not gonna have the same conversation. But I
well,
feel
right.
I feel a great connection with you because we have kind of both been through the same thing. Your 40,000 PayPal dollars have been taken from you. That changed your life, right? That changed your perception of reality in the same way that
I did get them back, but
no, of course,
this is
but the trust that you have.
180 days from, yeah,
No,
we're talking about business killing,
listen,
you know,
the day after my bank account was closed, I went to a different bank and I opened a new account, but I never used it because my mind was changed. I was allowed to open this new bank account with a different bank, and I did that because the system told me to. But when I thought about it again, I have never used that bank account, right? So I did have a bank account on my name. I just never used it because I was done with it. I was done with it.
right.
So
Yeah. And
I,
with me, with services like gift.com, which is GYFT, when you know, I use Bitcoin all the time, Bitcoin Cash all the time. I hold a lot of Bitcoin Cash, but I use it too. I make sure I use it, right? So with services like gift.com, I can exchange Bitcoin Cash into gift cards for nearly every store that I could ever want to shop at. 200 stores. You know, this helps me greatly because it bypasses the bank account. You know, it bypasses, and I'm not trying to bypass it for legal reasons. It's just a convenience factor to me. I can take this BCH, turn it right into Target gift cards, turn it right into Best Buy gift cards.
yeah,
And not only do I
I
get
get
to
it. I
spend
get it.
those, I can, I can, and I have done it. I can spend it. I can send it to my family, like and friends that need it. They're telling me, you know, they're not doing the same things. They're working for other people. They're not. They didn't. You know, it took a lot of risk for me to do what I do back in the day to decide to pursue not working for someone else. They haven't followed that same path mainly, and I think a lot of it has to do because I didn't sit down and talk with them about it because I didn't even know how it was going to turn out for me. But when they tell me that they're hurting, and I can send them within 3 minutes a text message that has an electronic gift card to Target, which does both home goods and groceries. And I've done this on the thousands of dollars. It makes me feel good when they spend this, when I help my family, you know. Just sent my uncle $500. Just I sent my friend $17,000 worth of shit that so he could pay stuff off. I mean, it just feels good, you know. And um, I think we should do a part two, maybe a week and a half. We set, you know, we do the same thing. We set it for a week and a half. We set
Yeah,
up a
sure. Well,
time, and
the owner of this apartment is going to be tremendously happy if I rent it again. So, I can set it up. It's no problem at all. I love it.
yeah,
I
rent it
mean,
again. I'll send. How much did it cost to rent that place for 2 days?
let's see,
If
let's
you
see.
if that's only
I
if you want to say it.
no, I can say it. I have actually it down in the stream. You have the link to the website of this apartment, and you can check it out yourself. I believe it's $50 per night. So, uh,
Oh my
y-
God, that's amazing. That's
this is the most.
amazing. I saw this.
Wait a second. This is the super nerd. You have to travel here once it's open. This is the most expensive room in the town, basically, right? So
I would live like like a king. I If I were there right now, I'd be like the fat
yeah,
Henry
but
VIII
the
with
only thing that you have to
turkey
realize is
turkey leg. And
that you cannot receive everything a king is expecting from his from his people, because you cannot order things that are not here, right? You have to accept
yeah,
that you live in a country that has been surrounded by the EU, that is blocked because they
I
want.
would make
You can only
I would
get
make
what
certain
local people
I would
create.
make certain yeah I would make certain concessions I would do without in order to be surrounded by people that have smiles on their face, are happy, you know,
That's
the
for sure
the
happening here.
sunlight's there
Let me
or
tell
the
you just this.
rain. I love rain and sunlight.
I call the current system a way of monetary apartheid. Apartheid is a Dutch word that is internationally known. We are not really proud of it, but it is, showing what I try to explain to people, that there is a apartheid in the world. And this monetary apartheid, you have to take benefit from it. And the way you can benefit from it even more is by going to Thailand. If you really want to, reap the benefits from your Western culture, go to Thailand, because they did not have all these negative experiences from before. They were just fucking poor, and they have been played stupid for all that time, and they've
Yeah,
accepted it. And
yeah.
that's why you have all the
So
luxury there. And
I've watched some videos on Thailand from the cost it requires to rent a scooter versus buying a scooter outright, apartments in Thailand. I mean, I definitely want to get to a point in my life where we're able to travel the world. My thing is right now, the safety of my two daughters are paramount. So I
ah,
have a 6-year-old and an 11-year-old.
so in that way, you are. Let me tell you this: Serbia is not any kind of problem. This is the most friendly place that you. Well, I don't know Thailand. I don't know, but I know that if you would go, look, there is also a difference. I'm not living in the capital because the capital is different, but
Yeah,
the place where I live today, it is the most friendly place I have been to in, well, my life. I have worked on a campsite in France, which was pretty nice as well. But that's
yeah,
not a village. That's not a society. This is
yeah,
really bikes get stolen here. Let's be honest, right? If you don't lock your bike, people take it, right? But
yeah,
but but I am not worried at all about my life when I walk here. Although people know that I'm probably you know, they could steal a lot of money from me if I walk the street, and that my wallet has an average monthly salary in cash in it.
yeah, yeah.
Nobody ever steals from me here, and
That's good, man.
you know,
That's really good.
I don't overdo it. That's also a thing. So I don't. I try to keep a bit mystic about, and I don't know really. Maybe it's me that they don't want to steal from it. I don't know, but they are not gonna steal from me, man. This place here is.
Personality and respect has a lot to do with
Yeah,
those issues.
yeah. I
So
really think it a little bit like that. If you are going to, prove that you are the most badass guy in town, they are going to kick your ass within 24 hours. That's also something I can
yeah,
tell you. Because
that's in their
but
blood, right?
but that is the fucking beauty of this place, because they don't accept bullshit. You are not the strongest guy. They are,
Yeah,
because they are with more than one. You understand my thing? Now I'm almost getting emotional from me living here. It's such a
yeah.
beautiful
Well,
experience
they're
feeling this community, because that's what it really is. And
yeah. I mean, they're willing. You know, they're down. So from what I'm hearing, they're down to earth people. They're willing to call you on your bullshit. I mean, we can see this sort of thing like even in Cuba. So if we take
let's call it
if we take Cuba's,
a small Cuba.
if we take, yeah, if we take Cuba's, I don't want to say it, or government out from the picture, and we see how self-reliant the Cubans are. What they've done with cars that were made in the 50s and how they've kept them up and made new parts out of scraps. This self-sufficiency idea is totally with my ethos. And it goes with the Russians. I'm American, 100%. I'm full-blooded American. I love my flag. What my flag is supposed to represent. I love, you know, but I can also find an extreme amount of value in self-sufficiency of these countries that seemingly have nothing, but they're able to take care of what they have,
Yeah.
or they're able to create, or they're MacGyvers of the world, where they can create a solution where others would see a problem. We're talking
Exactly
Cuba,
that is what is here.
Russia.
Exactly that is what's here.
Yeah,
And that is exactly what I blame on the Dutch, right? The lack of creativity to solve problems, because the way how Dutch solve
to be able
problems
to
is
stand on your own two.
they are going to bang the
Yes.
table, and then the government is going to give them money, and they're going to shut up.
Yeah,
And
we
that's the
did
way.
not we did not give you this. How dare you? But to be able to stand on your own 2 feet as a human being is amazing. Like, you don't need anybody, and you're not asking anything of anyone. You just want to be left the fuck alone half the
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And community is such. If you want to build a community, come to this fucking place and learn about it, because they did it.
Yeah.
Really, they did it, and nobody needs anybody here.
I'm
Really,
gonna
no.
put it on my list. I'm gonna put it on my list, same as
I'm
the
I'm
places
I'm
I want
I'm way
to
too
visit.
romanticizing it, because I'm fucking drunk. I have all these fucking empty bottles
No,
of Corona in my.
you're
You know,
telling it. You're
I want to
speaking truth,
believe.
man.
I want to believe I made the best decision in my life by moving here, but that's really how I feel about it. I don't know, but this entire life of mine, it's so amazing, man. And now that I am on my low of lows, and now this entire Corona hits the globe. I mean, for me personally, this is the best timing ever. It could have been at a better moment, because I am fucking done with. I mean, I need something to happen, and here it is. Here it happens. The funny thing is, 1 month before the entire Corona craze, I put a video on the internet for the first time in 3 years. I make a serious video, and I say, "Hey everybody, there is going to be a currency reset, global currency reset, and it's gonna happen,
Mhm.
and you are gonna benefit from it, because Serbia already experienced all of it, and don't worry about any of it, because we are gonna do this together." And
Yeah.
I can share that video with you. It's on my YouTube channel. If you press
Yes,
exclamation mark
send the link.
YouTube.
I mean, wisdom experience is a killer, man. When you have experience into something else that look, it goes down something like this. In Chicago, we have so much snow and so much sleet. that when we have a mild snow, maybe this, 3 or 4 inches, we're driving normal. But you throw that same snow or rain into LA, and they're fucked.
Yeah, these people
Why
are
are we able to do this so
drowning in the
well?
snow.
The reason why we're able to do this so well is because we have that experience under our belt. We know how to deal with this. That's what it comes down to. And that's the same kind of analogy when it comes down to Serbia being what seemingly might have been 30 years behind. They're 30 years ahead when shit like this happens. So
wow.
I think I'm gonna leave it at that and go drink the rest of my bottle.
No, I was gonna tell you that we're gonna leave it at that because this is
No,
my
I'm telling
fucking
you.
show. This is my fucking show. Soupernerd, thank you for this conversation. I'm gonna have a hell of a lot of job to upload this video because it's gonna be tremendously long, but it's worth every second of it. And let's continue this conversation at another moment. Thanks for putting me into this stream, and hope to see you again soon.
Of course, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I'll talk to you soon. Part 2 coming up soon.
For sure.
Bye.
I'm gonna keep you to that. Be careful.
Oh, I will. I don't break promises.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.